For some, Black Friday is about shopping. For basketball players, it's all about hitting the hardwood. We come to you from the 4th annual Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off at the venerable Schoenecker Arena, right here at the campus of St. Thomas. We've got several games coming your way from St. Thomas. The first features the Holy Angel Stars, a semifinalist in the 3A state championship, and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, a dark horse in the Suburban East and Section 4-4A. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by LaToya Turk. LaToya, you got a little taste of getting on the mic last week, and now you're here. The wait is over. How excited are you to ring in another season of basketball?
I'm really excited about this 2019-2020 season. There's so many good players that we have around just the local area, not to mention the outskirts of the Twin Cities. So I'm excited to see some good girls basketball this year.
And we've got plenty of good players in this matchup. Holy Angels, this time a year ago, a lot of folks thought they were in for some rough times, rough seas after Destiny Oberg and Kaylee Vanderwerf transferred to other schools. In response, Frankie Vascellaro said, "Hold my water."
Absolutely. I had a chance to watch her over the summer play. This kid's dynamite. She brings everything. She's a rebounder. She runs the floor. She can shoot. She'll put you on spin cycle in any given moment.
She led the team in scoring and rebounds last year and is on that pace to do so again after their opening season victory against Burnsville at the Tip-Off Classic. Speaking of tip-off, Cretin-Derham Hall tipped off their season at that event. They came back from 10 down to beat St. Louis Park. A big reason for that was one of the new arrivals, TK Mason.
And we will not forget who TK is. TK is a transfer from Tartan, and she's coming right in and putting her stamp on this team. TK's always been a hard worker. She's coming back from a knee injury, and you can't tell by the way that she's playing right now.
And Neveah Moeschter will join them soon. Not able to play, at least not yet, but they want to get her back. I'm excited. This is going to be one of those dark horse matchups. I know it's a matinee, but this could be a preview of sorts for Holy Angels, and if they can make another run to state and Cretin-Derham Hall, they'll have to get through Stillwater most likely, but with that new backcourt of theirs, I think they can handle it.
Yeah, we're in for a treat.
We'll come back to tip off this tip-off event. You're watching high school girls basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. And we're back at Schoenecker Arena. Mike Peden and LaToya Turk with you. LaToya, Holy Angels, one heck of a run last year, making it to the semifinals and giving the eventual champion De La Salle Islanders a run. In their new home at Section 6, they are the heavy favorite to go back to state, but after what happened a season ago, these next year or two could be the Frankie Vascellaro show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think last year, Holy Angels gave a lot of teams a run for their money. People weren't expecting what they saw.
And for Cretin-Derham Hall, a lot of folks, including myself, wondered what the future would be like after Franny Hottinger graduated. And yeah, a lot of folks thought they had some slim pickings. They didn't have a whole lot behind her, but getting TK Mason and Neveah Moeschter made a big difference.
Absolutely, and then let's not forget about Sydney Jackson, who's one of the fastest kids in the state. So that makes for a very, very, very good backcourt.
Holy Angels and Cretin-Derham Hall, both 1-0. Cretin-Derham Hall knocked off St. Louis Park at the Tip-Off Classic. Holy Angels beat Burnsville. Let's introduce the starters for you for the visiting Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, visiting by jersey color. It's Sydney Jackson, number 1. Anna Colin, number 12. Tootie Lewis, number 13. Audrey Martinez-Stewart, number 24, and TK Mason, number 35. Holy Angels will start. Frankie Vascellaro, number 1. Emma Henry, number 10. Isabel Henry, number 31. Number 34, Rachel Kowicki. And number 42, Cassandra Karen. But she goes by Cassie, so that's what I'll call her.
We've had some real exciting basketball this morning.
Franny Hottinger, the all-time leading scorer at Cretin-Derham Hall. She's now getting buckets at Lehigh, one of the pipelines for Minnesota talents. And this gym, Schoenecker Arena, LaToya, as you may know, could soon host Division I basketball.
That's going to be awesome for the girls in the state.
They have to get cleared by the NCAA first, but a lot of folks, myself included, are hoping D1 becomes a reality.
They've earned it.
Well, and it helped that the Summit League extended an invite. So Holy Angels will wear the blue, Cretin-Derham Hall will wear the white, and we're underway.
And right away, Frankie's showing her hops.
Well, Frankie's got plenty of them, as you know. That turnaround jumper of hers real tough to stop, as we saw a year ago. They go for 3. Cassie Karen, it rims out, and the rebound goes to Audrey Martinez-Stewart, but she's having trouble handling it. Frankie comes up with a steal.
I think we're going to see Frankie touch the ball on a lot of the possessions, offensive possessions and defensive possessions.
And Rachel Kowicki, no slouch. Isabel Henry, you may remember this, had the game-winning steal and run out against Como Park in overtime a year ago.
And Rachel's really developed over these past few years. She's also a go-to player for Holy Angels.
And as a basketball fan, I'm bummed that Holy Angels and Como Park did not continue their series this year, because those two, whenever they met, it was always a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And Frankie's going to go to the bench early.
I think she got bumped.
Looks like a nosebleed. So they'll have to get that patched up. Well, here's a chance for the Henry twins to make their mark, and Emma Henry, or Isabel Henry, I should say.
Oh, we got girls going down left and right.
Isabel Henry scored for Holy Angels, but it looks like Emma Henry took a hit. So this is a rough start for the Stars. Frankie Vascellaro working on a nosebleed. And
is that Rachel Kowicki down?
it could be.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I thought it was Henry, but it's Kowicki.
And she's traditionally been a pretty tough player. I hope that she's going to be okay and she's able to continue.
She's trying to walk it off. Doesn't need any assistance, so that's a good sign. I know every time a player clutches their knee, I tense up a little bit. We know how knee injuries can be a bane for women's basketball players and basketball players in general.
Especially this early in the season for everyone.
Isabel Henry does get credit for the buckets. That ball is deflected to the Holy Angels bench. Dan Woods, the longtime head coach in his 24th season, I believe.
And does he coach volleyball as well?
He doesn't coach volleyball, he coaches football.
Okay, football. I knew it was another sport.
Cassie Karen with the steal in the run out. Cassie Karen, a volleyball basketball crossover.
And we see Holy Angels coming out with this press early.
And it rattled Cretin-Derham Hall, so they get a steal and a chance to set up once more.
One thing Frankie
turn around. Go ahead.
Said earlier was that she was looking forward to meshing with her new teammates here that are on the Holy Angels roster and seeing what they're going to bring to the program, to the team this year.
Sydney Jackson, a track star at Cretin-Derham Hall. They swing it around, 3-ball, and missing from the corner was Anna Colin. Tootie Lewis, the freshman, with the rebound. Tootie is her nickname, by the way. That's not her given name. TK Mason drains the runner.
TK is going to be one of their go-tos for offense here at Cretin. She definitely has an offensive mindset.
She was a terrific distributor at Tartan. she had an injury that sidelined her for her freshman season, and then Tartan went through some turbulence that led to, well, a lot of folks moving elsewhere. It was Azaria Chevre and now Moeschter and TK Mason, but I had a chance to catch up with the Masons, and I'll share that story in a moment because we've got Isabel Henry at the line.
And TK got an opportunity this summer to get in some really good basketball with the Urban Ventures program, playing with some of the girls that she's playing against tonight, Frankie Vascellaro and some of the girls from the St. Louis Park team that they played last week.
I had a chance to catch up with TK's mother, Tara, at the Tip-Off Classic, and she told me TK was really excited, blending in well.
They love it.
And they have Crystal Flint leading the way.
And Crystal's been a mentor for TK for quite some time now, especially with her Shooting Stars basketball program that she runs every summer. So TK and Crystal have had a great connection for some time now.
How about that stroke from Anna Colin? Went for the pull-up and nothing but net. Frankie Vascellaro back in, and she's fouled. She'll shoot 2. Frankie Vascellaro, when she's not getting buckets.
What is she doing, Mike?
Well, she likes to play the piano and the guitar.
I did not know that.
I want to know what her favorite tune is. Also plays lacrosse. And considers one of her biggest strengths the ability to shoot over other players. And at 5'10" and that jumper of hers, she'll get over some people.
She's probably had good practice shooting over her brother.
Yes, her older brother Sam, and a 1,000-point scorer at St. Thomas Academy, and her parents have an athletic lineage. If this is the first time you've seen a Holy Angels game, after Frankie made both free throws.
Good hustle.
Well, I'll share that story in a moment. Audrey Martinez-Stewart misfires on the 3. So Frankie Vascellaro's parents, her father, a 2-time state tournament champion in football, and her mother played volleyball. Some scrappy play in the early minutes, and that's going to be a foul on Emma Henry. She made contact with Sydney Jackson. Sydney started her varsity career at Como Park, transferred to Cretin-Derham Hall as a freshman, and even though basketball may not be her strongest sport, a super skilled, super quick athlete.
Oh, yeah. I think Sydney has medals in track.
She does. Looking to get some medals here. Won't do so from three-point range, and the rebound will go to Cretin-Derham Hall. 15-10 left in the first half. 7-4 in a battle of 1-0 teams. Mason to Martinez-Stewart, left alone. I thought she was going to pull up.
I did too.
Went for the drive instead. So Holy Angels not respecting her three-point shot yet. Cassie Karen, she'll fire the 3. Pure.
Yeah. Cassie's feeling it.
Cassie Karen making some plays early. Jackson swings it around to Mason. She fires the 3. No good. Rebound Colin, but she cannot save it. Here comes Karen. And Sydney Jackson comes up with a steal. Lexi Egan is in the game for the Stars, number 3.
Sydney dribbled past that entire team. The entire Holy Angels team.
Well, she's fast, as you know. I think she and Alexis Bratt could rival each other in speed.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'll see Alexis Bratt tomorrow. I'm hoping you can do the same when Stillwater plays Farmington.
Me too.
That's going to be a terrific matchup in the early part of the season. As you know, Stillwater, they schedule tough.
Yeah, and I always look forward to seeing Alexis play.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Even one of her Suburban East rivals loves watching her play. Here's Cassie Karen, and that's a shout out to our friend Andrea Dubose, who's getting married in a month. She runs the Empower Her training business, where she works with a lot of athletes, including Alexis Bratt.
She's done an excellent job.
Karen had 11 points in the season opening victory against Burnsville. Cretin-Derham Hall trying to move the ball up, and That's going to be a turnover. And for Cretin-Derham Hall, I think this could be one of those bumps they'll have to go through. Again, Neveah Moeschter not able to play yet on varsity.
And that'll really help them once they get her suited up for the varsity, because they'll have a ball handler on the floor.
Traveling violation on Karen. And outside of Hottinger, they didn't have a ton as far as basketball household names coming through, so you got to work your way up a bit. Getting TK Mason certainly helps.
And the coach that you have, that helps as well.
Crystal Flint in her second season at Cretin-Derham Hall, coached at Minneapolis North for 3 years. Foul is on Karen.
She's had the Minneapolis Shooting Stars basketball camp for a few years as well.
And don't forget, a member of the Golden Gophers, a member of the first Gophers team to reach the NCAA tournament.
Right. And the mother of the none other.
Mother of Marquise and Trey. Trey in his sophomore season. I'll be seeing the boys team on Tuesday when they play North St. Paul. And Holy Angels, well, they want to get going.
Yeah.
They're ready to go.
It's one thing, as a coach, you talk to get the ball and go. If the other team's not in position, get the ball and go.
And Dan Woods, a longtime member at Holy Angels. Well, Frankie had a lane. Oh, you can't do that.
No.
You cannot leave Frankie a wide open lane like that, because she's going to drive it every time. And a reach and foul as number 2 for the Stars, Grace Massaquoi, tried to get the steal.
A 30-second timeout is called by the Raiders.
And Cretin-Derham Hall will call a timeout. Frankie Vascellaro, 22 points, 11 rebounds against Burnsville. Double-doubles are probably going to be a regular occurrence for Frankie this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Cretin-Derham Hall, we mentioned TK Mason, 19 points. And Alex, why are you smirking at us? Oh, checking in. I think he likes all the knowledge, useless trivia that I've got. TK Mason, 19 points, 8 of 17 from the floor in that game against St. Louis Park.
So she definitely has a green light. She's going to shoot the ball. We've known that for years now, though, for TK. She's going to shoot the ball.
And I think at Cretin-Derham Hall, as opposed to Tartan, Crystal Flint, she's not going to take any nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
She's well respected. We mentioned a state tournament official, I should say. NCAA tournament appearance, a lot of coaching with Concordia, Minnesota. She's done just about everything.
And I think with especially this group that we have right now of players, they have a higher basketball IQ, so you definitely want to make sure that your coach does too.
And was that Grace Massaquoi, number 2, who scored?
Yes.
That's why we've got LaToya. She's got the laser eyesight. So Grace Massaquoi with her first basket. Massaquoi, the 5'11 sophomore, and the Stars have built up a 14-4 lead over the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. Now Cretin trying to press, and it pays off.
Works.
And then they almost turn it over. Number 5 for the Raiders is Tyler Mader. And it will stay CDH ball. 12:49 left in the first half. Anna Caruso going in place of Jackson. Crystal Flynn noted this is a relatively young team. So a lot of building blocks and a lot of patience, I imagine, in these first few games. Getting that one over St. Louis Park, that was big, because even though Cretin-Derham Hall trails by 10 now, they trail by 10 against the Orioles, rally back to win.
And that's one thing about this team. I think they're going to be persistent, and Crystal's not going to let them get down on themselves.
And not only does she have a lot of experience, her bench, her staff this year, Tisa Mitchell,
right,
2-time state tournament champion. Brianna Edwards coming back from Rhode Island. And now an assistant, coaches JV. She played at Minneapolis North, played Division I in Providence. Tisa Mitchell played Division I at Southeast Missouri. I remember you had told me, traveling violation on Colon, or Caruso, I should say. That was Colon. I'm going to get the names and numbers eventually. You told me Cretin-Derham Hall, they were looking for some more inner-city representation, and Holy Angels executing in transition. Massaquoi with the score. And they're doing this with Frankie Vascellaro playing limited minutes so far. There's another steal.
Cretin's going to clear up their passes.
That's tough. Holy Angels had another fast break, and Isabel Henry couldn't put on the brakes.
And if you're on Crystal's bench, you got to be ready. She's rotating her players in and out tonight.
You can't tell the Henry twins apart. Isabel is 31, Emma is 10. But as I was saying, they wanted a deeper inner-city background to represent their coaching staff, and they've got 3 outstanding role models. Holy Angels with another steal. Will Massaquoi take it herself? No. Frankie Vascellaro there for the cleanup.
There to clean it up. So I always say, if your teammate has a fast break, don't just stand there and watch her. Run with her.
You don't have to tell Frankie that twice.
Yeah.
Audrey Martinez-Stewart, she's got plenty of speed.
And they wanted her. She held her player off. They were hoping that he'd call that.
Crystal Flint calls Audrey Martinez-Stewart her biggest pest. And that is an accolade of her defensive ability.
Call
now
them
Cretin-Derham
Minnesota
Hall.
Mosquitoes.
Yes. But they can't execute on the fast break. Martinez-Stewart able to retrieve it. They find a hole.
There we go.
Caruso with the
working.
bucket, and Martinez-Stewart with the dime. 18-8. Holy Angels looking to push. No good, and Kowicki will shoot 2.
With Kowicki and Frankie and Karen, I think by the midseason, they sync. That'll be a nice combo there. Nice trio, I should say. And I guess we are going to see Neveah tonight.
Okay. I knew she was dealing with some knee problems, but she did play JV, and there she is. Kowicki makes both free throws. Holy Angels, 5 of 6. And the Stars up 20-8. Kowicki was trying to find Karen on the shovel pass. Karen, she wants that 3.
Yeah, she does.
She'll back off to Emma Henry. And that was Neveah Moeschter. Runs into the bleachers. No pain, no gain, right? Moeschter can shoot from three-point range. A great compliment on those Tartan teams. She and Azaria Chevre are best friends. Frankie Vascellaro times the pass. You know what's coming. Oh, no. Moeschter got there in time. I thought Frankie had a clear lane. Holy Angels to shoot free throws, but Neveah Moeschter hustling till the very end. Okay, it's going to be a side out. I thought it would have been a shooting foul, but Neveah Moeschter denying Frankie the fast break look.
And that's one thing, she hustled, on that turnover and got back and just put just enough pressure on her for her to drop that layup short. And so Takara and Neveah have played together probably since about the 3rd grade on various teams, so it'll be nice to see how they sync up.
They started together at Tartan. They're going to finish together. Neveah is senior this year. Karen with the steal. Karen, one of the rising stars, one of the players to watch. Talking to the basketball community, and she'll go to the line for 2.
We had a few more years to watch her, too. She's only a sophomore.
Yeah, this Holy Angels team, they've got a great foundation for the next couple of years between Karen and Frankie Vascellaro. So, LaToya, do you happen to know who Cassie's favorite superhero is?
I don't know, Mike. Tell me.
It's Flash. Although, if you ask Cassie if she were to have one superpower, it would be flight. And Demise, understand it, a big fan of Hulk. Moeschter for 3. That's off the mark. TK Mason with the offensive rebound, and she'll clean it up. Mason up to 4. Frankie Vascellaro wide open down low. And Isabel Henry will pick up an easy dime. 23-10. Holy Angels over Cretin-Derham Hall.
Holy Angels are so long. All their arms are so long. They're getting their hands in the passing lane. They're deflecting. But Cretin just keeps coming and keep coming and keep coming.
They do have a lot of length. When you look at Vascellaro at 5'10", Cassie Karen around 6 feet. The Henry twins bring a lot of length. Kawicki brings a lot of toughness down low.
Oh, yeah.
And Kawicki still on the bench, but the way Holy Angels has played, Dan Woods sensing that I don't need to risk Kawicki's health right now.
Oh, yeah. Smart move.
Moeschter was looking for the 3. Karen closes in on her.
Nice pass.
Lewis, 3 ball. In and out. There's Frankie Vascellaro with the rebound.
Get Frankie flexing her dribbling skills here.
Frankie can do a little bit of everything.
Nice slip. Nice.
Rebecca Little scores, and the Stars up by 15 over the Raiders. Mason to Lewis. That didn't hit rim. Another rebound for Frankie Vascellaro. Emma Henry drives and can't get the finish. Rebecca Little chases in there, gets in there for the rebound. Cretin-Derham Hall didn't see her, and they catch a break. Karen missed the 3, but Little just snuck in there and took it away.
Oh, yeah. And it looks just a little bit like Cretin's getting beaten back on defense here.
Neveah Moeschter hitting the long 2. Holy Angels on the run.
Yep.
Cassie Karen finishes.
Holy Angels scoring on first and second passes here.
And what we're seeing out of Holy Angels is the style of play they switched to after Destiny Joberg and Kaylee Vanderwerf left, and that's going to be a foul on Emma Henry. TK Mason to the line. TK Mason likes to do some writing when she's not playing.
She's definitely a comedian as well.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, she's probably got a brighter future in comedy than I do. But I had a chance to see her play a couple of times last year, and the Tartan-Simley game, the first time Chevry went up against her old team, TK Mason displayed some pretty solid passing ability.
Oh, yeah.
And she misses at the line.
She's that player that will fill in wherever you need her to fill in. If she needs to bring the ball up the floor, she'll bring the ball up the floor. If you need her to rebound, she'll rebound.
And Frankie Vascellaro will send a thank you card to the rim after that one. Three ball. And another friendly bounce. Anna Colin scoring. These rims are friendly. Moeschter with the steal. The Raiders could pick up some momentum here, and they're going to draw the foul. They will not give her continuation. Moeschter wants a flagrant.
And one thing about Neveah, she's a stronger, one of the stronger point guards. She might be small in stature, but she's definitely stronger. And I know Crystal has her girls working out with the hoops and craze, Chauncey Hollinsworth, and having a trainer who not only increases your strength but your basketball IQ really helps when you're the point guard on a team.
And Holy Angels, they've got 7 fouls. Now Crystal Flink getting an explanation from the official on why a flagrant wasn't called. Now the players see it, and so Moeschter, she was ready. She knew she was going to go to the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's never easy to transfer to another school in your senior year, but given the circumstances, sometimes a change is the best way to grow. And from what I've heard, that's going to be a foul, I think, on Martinez Stewart. From what I've heard out of Crystal, as you know, she's always supportive of her players, past and present. The coaching staff really like having TK and Neveah. I think they're going to do just well, just fine at Cretin-Derham Hall. The Stars dominating this first half. Cretin-Derham Hall trying to work their way back in this. And who touched it last? It was Massaquoi.
So yeah, we have a lot of our great athletes who have been to two high schools, played on 2 varsity teams. Just is what it is.
As they say at the higher levels, it's a business. Not quite as much of a business here, but sometimes you got to make a move if things aren't working out. Whoa! Kawicki tumbling, finding Vascellaro. That's the play of the game. That's it. I've seen enough. I can go home now. That was amazing. Well, Kawicki showing no signs of that knee injury.
She's always been a hustler. Always.
Do you think they work on that in practice?
I think it's instinct. It's instinct.
I still can't wrap my head around it. Demaya, I hope you're taking notes. I wanted to see you do that. Tumbling for the ball, you find it, dish it out to Chloe or Erickson or Malia White, the 7th grader, so she's knocking down threes already. 1-1 for the Raiders. This is Anna Colin. Nothing doing.
And then we're see Holy Angels, they get out there pushing that ball up the floor right away.
It goes back to what I was saying. After Oberg and Vanderwerf transferred, Dan Woods, Joe Berg, they told me, well, it just means we go back to the way we used to play.
Yeah.
Up-tempo, fast-paced, run the floor. And
they have that. They have that. Those types of players that they can run that game.
And the new-look Stars that we saw last year, they had a lot more speed they could use.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say Oberg and Vanderwerf were not vital pieces. Oberg are part of that state championship team, but the free throws are
I've seen a lot of that this year. I've seen more than I'd like to see.
Well, you only get a couple of weeks to scrimmage, and I know as a basketball fan, free throws are not the sexiest thing to work on.
I know,
but they
it's
can.
Easy money.
Right. Well, look what happened to Providence.
Yeah, it's easy money.
That's going to be a foul on Kawicki. What did Demaya say?
I didn't hear her. We were just that was definitely a foul.
Oh, well, yes.
How many is that does she have now?
They're not putting it on the board, but it does send Anna Caruso to the line. This is a 2-shot foul.
She has enough that her coach is going to have her join him for a while.
But Cretin-Derham Hall, again, going back to free throws, they have yet to convert from the line. Holy Angels, 6 of 9. And when you're trailing by 16, that's a lot of points you're leaving at the line. Grace Massaquoi on the run. Gets her own rebound.
That's what I'm talking about.
I see our ESP is working at full capacity, and Massaquoi will get a chance at 2.
If they keep pressing and she keeps pushing that ball on this right side, she's right-handed, she's going to stay at that free throw line.
Massaquoi, 8 points, 3 of 9 in the season opening win over Burnsville. 8 points, 4 rebounds.
Lewis back in the ball game.
Yeah, you know, I'm wondering what's up with all the free throw shooting or lack thereof. I mean, that, as a basketball fan, to me, that'd be the first thing to work on.
Like I said, the basketball IQ of some of these athletes has increased so much that your coaches are now actually having to teach and coach.
Mason looking
so
for
it takes
help.
away from that skill time.
Well, you never know when you'll need those free throws. Tootie Lewis drains the three. I want to say it, but no, because I'm thinking of a Little Richard song. You know what I'm talking about.
Should think twice about setting that pick next time.
Massaquoi for three. No good.
Oh, travel.
Tyler Mater in a tough position there in the baseline.
Oh, yeah. And a Stars player had already gotten her hands on it, so get a little frazzled there.
Rebecca Little, another volleyball-basketball crossover. Isabel Henry can't bank it off the glass. Frankie Vascellaro leaves that short. Moeschter with the rebound. A key opportunity here for Cretin-Derham Hall to regain some momentum. Lewis with the dime.
Way to be ready on that transition.
Caruso with the bucket. And it's back to a 10-point margin. Now Cretin applying the pressure. Frankie Vascellaro, pump fakes, fires, swish.
And that's her move, that pump fake one dribble.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Pump fake works every time.
Yes, it only works every single time. Mason, dribble drive, and Massaquoi stayed with it. Frankie Vascellaro up to 14 points. A reliable source told me she's 32 away from 1,000. Mason on the left wing. Finds Maiden in the corner.
And that means she's about halfway there on this game, and we still have a whole nother half to play.
Well, she's had a couple of 30-point games in her career, but right now it's Cretin-Derham Hall looking for a rally. Anna Caruso with 7 off the bench. Demaya's liking what she's seeing.
When you have a guard who has a big on her back, I saw Neveah screaming, one more. She's like, I got her. She went for it. These two played all summer together.
And Frankie and TK Mason as Karen banks in the three-pointer. Mason and Vascellaro on the same AAU program, UVA, led by Tyler Coley. And now Cretin-Derham Hall showing some hustle. Tyler Mater getting the offensive rebound, and she'll shoot 2. With Cretin-Derham Hall in the double bonus, 3:07 left in the first half. A lot of great games here.
Oh, yeah.
At the Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off. Well, I'd say both St. Thomas and Hamlin have done an incredible job beefing up the field. And
with St. Thomas potentially being Division I, it's really nice to have their coach in-house tonight. She's able to see the girls from around the city.
Oh, yes. Well, I was going to say, as Mater makes both free throws, the St. Thomas tip-off no longer a Catholic-only round-robin affair. Several new teams are joining the field, and Hamlin added St. Michael Albertville, Farmington.
Oh, yeah. All good stuff.
To the mix. Rosemount, they're a dark horse down in Section 3, 4A.
I love to see these young ladies calling for the ball. Right here. I got her.
And one of the highlights of the Twin Cities tip-off, a chance to see Dowling Catholic and La Crosse Aquinas. They'll play later tonight. Grace Massaquoi up to 6 after that last bucket for the Stars. Tootie Lewis, 3-ball.
They're working the boards.
Not giving up on the 3. And that will be a foul on Mason, and she is saying, you got to be kidding me, in her head. And that will send Holy Angels to the line, 1-and-1 situation.
We have to get a foul count in halftime.
Foul on Moeschter. Cullen back in the ball game for the Raiders.
And this is Rebecca Little. Holy Angels, they've had a strong volleyball program over the last few years, led by the likes of Lauren Link. And Holy Angels, across the board, put out a lot of strong athletic programs. Little, well, almost got her own miss. But the Stars rebuild their lead to 14. Cretin-Derham Hall.
Gotta be ready. You know
that's
Sydney's
a
coming.
bucket.
You gotta be ready.
That's a bucket you gotta make.
Yeah.
Now the Stars on fast break, and they can't finish. Oh, it is game 2 of the season for both teams.
Sydney's coming. You gotta be ready.
Jackson to Lewis, no. Jackson, no. 3 chances, nothing doing for the Raiders.
And they're doing great on the boards. Sydney's pushing the ball. She's getting past everyone. We just got to finish on those little easy chippers.
Karen. Out to Isabel Henry. Sister, bullseye. The first field goal for Emma Henry. 42-25, Holy Angels over Cretin-Derham Hall. Little almost got the steal there.
You can finish that. Yeah.
And that's going to lead to a transition bucket for Anna Caruso. Crystal Flint will call a timeout, I think, to settle her team down, because Holy Angels had a lot of momentum on their side.
Yeah, and maybe just this last minute, get them on a little run, let them score a little bit. Yeah, we talk about star-studded teams. We got Coach Crystal has a star-studded coaching staff over there.
As we were alluding to earlier.
More basketball.
She said, we'll be extremely young, but we'll have athleticism, speed, and quickness.
Raiders will be taking on a no.
And time. She has a little time because her girls are, like you say, they're young.
Right. But it will not be easy this year in the Suburban East. Irondale joining the group, so that'll
Oh, yeah.
be a couple of games for most of the teams to get wins. Irondale trying to build up the ranks. Stillwater brings back a lot. Eastridge expected to be better. Roseville, you know they've got some players. They could be a dark horse in the Suburban East. After that, the field's wide open.
Right.
Well, Mounds View picked up a win in their season opener, beating Chisago Lakes. In that game, Lindsay Becker crossed the 1,000 career rebound mark.
Oh, that's nice. Congrats, Lindsay.
She'll be playing D2 at Concordia St. Paul.
And she had options to go Division I. She had a lot of options. I think she just wanted to. She wanted to stay close to home.
How about that defense by Sydney Jackson? She trapped Isabel Henry, and that forced a backcourt violation. Isabel crossed the timeline and backpedaled. Sydney Jackson, not the tallest at 5'4", but that speed.
Oh yeah.
Makes
She's
up
one of
for
those
it.
Minnesota mosquitoes. Just kind of get all up in your grill.
Mater tried to feed it inside to Anna Cullen. Less than a minute.
Yep, turn the corner.
Another miss at the line. I should say at the elbow. Henry to Karen for 3. No good. Cherish Henderson scoops up the miss. Karen missing on the drive.
She's definitely going to be a player to watch.
Jackson coming up with it. Anna Cullen. Swish.
It's definitely what they needed. Now let's see if Cretin can get a defensive stop here.
10 seconds.
Just play smart and talk.
Isabel drives, beats the buzzer. Baseline drive is good. Kind of reminds you of that Como Park game. Again, Isabel, no slouch. You know, Frankie gets a lot of the headlines at Holy Angels, and the Stars using their speed and quickness to build a 15-point lead, 44-29 at the half.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many assets on that Holy Angels team right now. Frankie won't have to work as hard as she's normally worked the past couple of years. So I talked to her earlier before the game, and she said she's definitely looking forward to playing with the new players that are on the roster this year, and some good additions.
We'll come back for the second half. This is high school girls basketball, the 4th annual Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Back here at Schoenecker Arena, Mike Peden and LaToya Turk, the first of several games we're bringing you at the 4th annual Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off at St. Thomas. Holy Angels with a 44-29 lead over Cretin-Derham Hall. Frankie Vascellaro 24 away from 1,000. We'll see if she can get there. Well, Frankie's father is hoping so because her twin brother will be playing for the 5AA state championship tomorrow.
Oh, fun.
At US Bank Stadium.
They have an amazing group of children, very talented. But, you know, we've seen Frankie hit 24 points and a half, so it's definitely doable. And I wonder if she knows that that's how close she is.
Well, if she doesn't get it here, she'll very likely get it tomorrow when Holy Angels goes up against Dowling Catholic. First half numbers, Vascellaro 14 to lead all players. Cassie Kieran with 11. And Anna Caruso 9 off the bench. It's the Anna and Anna show at Cretin-Derham Hall. Anna Colin with 7. Not a lot of production yet out of TK Mason or Stewart or Moeschter, but
and
they
you know,
can,
second
they can
half,
work their way back.
We've seen them turn it up on the second half, and I'm sure Crystal had some choice words with them in the locker room, so hopefully we'll see a different tone set here in the second half.
Well, I'm sure I don't know if they're choice words. Crystal, behaves herself, but I'm sure she...
No, they're choice words.
Right.
They're not bad words.
Okay,
they're choice words.
No, because one of her go-to phrases is, "What the hamburger?" That's a very tasty alternative, by the way. So the Stars get the ball to start the second half, and Rachel Kowicki makes her presence known.
Can't forget about Rachel.
Well, I didn't. Everyone at Holy Angels said she's tough. She's on the ground a lot. So it was no surprise that she got a tumbling assist.
And she's been that way since the first time I saw her play as a 9th grader, coming off the bench for a little bit of varsity time.
Another fast break. Holy Angels, they are pushing the ball. And I mean pushing.
That's their game plan. And TK's looking. You can see searching for who's open. I think when you have a point guard like TK or Sydney Jackson, you have to keep your hands ready.
Kowicki again. Yes. Bouncing back from a knee injury in the first half. Not a serious one. She was able to walk off on her own, but she's feeling pretty good right now. 3 on the way. Off the mark, and Holy Angels will let that bounce out of bounds. Holy Angels playing several 4A teams, among them Shakopee, who made state last year, Bloomington Jefferson, Prior Lake. They look a little different with McKenna Hofschild now at Seton Hall, and Chanhassen. Chanhassen trying to build up. So maybe not 4A teams that jump out at you.
It's a nice little
but
sequence
Frankie
there.
Vascellaro does. But, you know, Holy Angels, they made it to state. They gave De La Salle a run. Now that is a series I'm looking forward to in the Tri-Metro. The defending champs against a team that almost beat them in the semifinals.
And, you know,
Mason for three. Pure.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. When you're a team like De La Salle, every night there's someone wanting to beat you.
And it's no different for Hopkins.
Right.
You're the team everyone wants to beat. And even in 2A, Minnehaha Academy got a taste of the topsy-turviness as Kawicki is fouled. They beat Sauk Center, the #1 team, in the preseason poll at the Tip-Off Classic, and then lost to Mare Lutheran on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mare Lutheran, though, they're not a pushover in Class A, but it just shows you the parity we have seen this year is just outstanding.
The gate's wide open.
Right. Well, Hopkins and De La Salle, they're your front runners in 3A and 4A, as Kawicki knocks down the front end. After that, it's a wide open field.
Wide open, yep.
Farmington dropped 90 on St. Michael Albertville. They didn't crack 90 at all last year.
Wow.
92-78 was the final on that one. And Wyzetta
Frankie's got to be careful there.
against Sydney Jackson. Hyde against Speed. Mason, the long skip to Caruso.
Nice.
And shooting free throws will be Olivia Allen.
It's exactly what you want your post player to do, to get it and go back up in the lane. High percentage chance you're going to end up at the free throw line.
You did that all the time as a player at Washburn and De La Salle, right?
Well,
And at Kent State?
Kentucky State.
Well,
Kent
State.
yeah,
Kent State for short.
I played more of a 3-4 at Kentucky State, so I was a shooter.
I still want to find some archives of yours. I bet you had a terrific jump shot.
You could ask my girls from Como, they'll tell you.
Vascellaro, yes.
Frankie does a good job of finding her spot, finding the open spots, getting there.
And this is her 4th year on varsity. Started as an 8th grader, played some significant minutes as a freshman, started last year and took over after the transfers and became the face of this team.
I'd like to see Neveah use her speed a little when she has a bigger player against her to just blow by her. Come on, TK.
Mason, okay, good. She kept her dribble going. You don't want to give it up right at the timeline. Moeschter for 3. Bullseye.
And Neveah was asking for that ball right as TK crossed over in the backcourt. So they just got to look up a little quicker.
And she can knock down threes, as we know. We saw that a lot at Tartan. Cassandra Karen takes it all the way. A coast-to-coast score.
And there she goes. She's asking for it again.
Sydney Jackson will take it herself and shoot 2.
Sydney has that weave effect. Like she'll get past the entire team. Or is that a speed effect? So we got Sydney Jackson at the line. She can't connect on that first free throw.
I was going to say, as I was looking up my notes, we saw Sydney Jackson blow by
Oh, yeah.
the entire team by herself already. And if you think she's fast here, head to the track.
In the 100 meter,
Right.
yeah.
Head to the track. 3 ball, no good. A little bit of a push off there by Caruso.
I thought she was just extending her arm.
Right. Well, we play on. Moeschter, 3 ball. She'll shoot 3 at the line. And that is one of the worst fouls you can take defensively. And Brianna urging her team on. So Brianna Edwards, she and I are close friends. I first met her when she was at the state tournament back in 2009. Minneapolis North lost to St. Michael Albertville that year.
Wow, your memory.
But here's the thing. Brianna was a diehard Los Angeles Lakers fan when Kobe Bryant was there, until LeBron James showed up. She does not want to talk about the fact that the Lakers have the best record in the NBA while LeBron is there. She and Crystal have yet to discuss it. Crystal, a LeBron James fan. And if you think that's hilarious, well, Cretin-Derham Hall trying to make a play there. If you think that's hilarious, legend has it that Brianna deleted all of her Drake songs from her phone last summer after the Toronto Raptors beat the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. She's been a big Warriors fan for the last few years.
Oh, she's serious. Well, Brianna, I hate to inform you, majority of us are LeBron fans.
I'm a Jordan guy, always will be, although I'm not going to get into the who's the best out there because different eras, different players, competition.
Right.
But yeah, her mother and I, Brianna's mother that is, we have one thing in common. We both love giving her a hard time. And all of her friends were just relentlessly pouring it on after the Raptors beat the Warriors.
And Frankie just picked up another foul. She just mowed over Sydney there, going for that steal.
Well, she's at 18 points. The fourth foul on Holy Angels, but they have a 17-point lead. A comfortable cushion here to work with. Moeschter trying to reel that margin in.
That's going to be a nice in-out game there, inside-outside game.
Moeschter pump fakes. Now the shovel pass to Martinez Stewart. 3-ball, corner pocket.
And they're chipping away this lead, chipping it away.
It's down to 14. Frankie. Oh, Jackson went for the steal. That leaves Frankie open. She can't put it in. She's got to be careful. Frankie does know how to play in foul trouble, though. And Martinez Stewart, she can drive. Moeschter, look out. Oh, my goodness. If I didn't know any better, I thought Sarah Scalia was out there. Crystal Flint wanted a foul after Cretin-Derham Hall player went down.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there. Definitely some contact there that the ref missed. You guys will see it on the replay, but she extended her arm, took Neveah all the way to the ground.
And in the midst of all this, it's an 11-point game.
Yep. And with three refs on the floor, you got to be able to see that before someone gets hurt. I completely agree with Coach Flint.
And instead, Martinez Stewart got hit with a foul. So Crystal Flint, I can't imagine pleased about the circumstances. Stars swing it around. Now they look to penetrate. Almost throw it away. Emma Henry for three. Pure.
Yeah, I think as the season progresses, we'll get to see Cretin's anticipation on that defensive rotation improve. But I love seeing this little guard down in the paint for Cretin post up.
Martinez Stewart with the assist to TK Mason.
Anna Caruso, that's who that is. She's playing with so much heart.
And a foul on Mason. Oh, we were mentioning Mounds View earlier. There is Ashley Ansel, the head coach of the Mustangs. Watching this intently, as you know, Cretin-Derham Hall and Mounds View in the same conference. They'll play each other on Tuesday.
And TK's got to be careful down there with Rachel because we don't want her to pick up another foul here. This looks like a really good defensive team in for Cretin right now. So we'll see if Frankie comes back in.
Kowicki, mid-range J, does not drop, and the rebound to Mater.
And if you're running, TK will find you.
Three on the way. Looks strong as it is. Moeschter able to recover it. And the Raiders get another chance. They can get it within 10 here. They could be in business. And that is a clean block by Emma Henry on Anna Caruso. Henry will take it all the way and get the roll.
And Holy Angels has gotten several of those buckets where they just continue to go right to the basket.
Sydney Jackson slipped up on the Shawnee Arena surface, and Isabel Henry will score an easy bucket. Timeout, Cretin-Derham Hall.
That was a nice run by Cretin.
The Henry twins hooking up there, Isabel and Emma, and we've seen Holy Angels. They've got some athletes. A lot of coast-to-coast finishes.
Oh, yeah.
The Henry twins. Emma enjoys anime. Not sure what her favorite one is. I'm partial to Cowboy Bebop. And Isabel, she says, I really like sweets, and that's probably unhealthy for me.
At this age, I think you can spare a few.
When you get to our age, then you
Right.
got to behave yourself.
Right. Just
But
remember
that's okay. You know like 15,000 trainers. You could get Allie Holman or Andrea Dubose.
Yeah. Or the guys over at Game Face, Chauncey Hollingworth, any of those guys, right? It's probably, that's the easy part. It's your teeth that's the hard part. So if you're eating sweets, make sure you're brushing and flossing.
And here's a few more notes about the Henry twins. They both are on the track and field team, the National Honor Society, and STEM programming.
Great.
Well, as you know, encouraging women to pursue careers in the STEAM field now. It's not just STEM. They added the arts to it.
And
It's a big initiative in the 21st century, getting folks on the STEAM train, and more power to them. There's
And I really hope a lot of our young ladies take advantage of it, because you can get substantial amount of financial aid for STEM programs right now as a young lady going to your post-secondary education.
Women can play ball. Women can be scientists, engineers, mathematicians. Like, I guess I'll channel a little bit of Bob Ross. Talent is a pursued interest. You can do it. Well,
Yep.
that's one reason why when folks ask me, why do you cover so many girls' games? A lot of folks tune in to watch these games. My very first one, Providence Maranatha, which I know you watched about 15 times. That's going to be a foul on Mason.
Because girls are the best. That's why.
Hey, what are you trying to say? Are you saying I'm second string?
Well,
I'm kidding.
I think for me with girls basketball, like with boys, they're so strong. So it's a strength thing. With the girls, it's the playing field is like, you look at these players, the playing field is even when it comes to how physical they are. It's your basketball IQ. That's what I enjoy seeing.
Cassie Karen knocks down both free throws. Plays right side on the volleyball team. And Holy Angels getting the turnover there.
I think she threw that ball in a little quick for her, and she wasn't quite ready for it. And I don't foresee that happening too many more times.
And when Cassie Karen, volleyball, basketball, also plays first base and center field on the softball team here at Holy Angels.
Being a multiple sport athlete really helps.
Well, and Holy Angels has a multitude of three-sport athletes as Kowicki goes to the line. And well, to finish up our conversation, when I posted the Providence Maranatha game, I had a couple of folks on my YouTube link respond with, "Oh, I've been waiting all season." And another one said, "Yeah, I check his page every day for new games." One of the Anoka players recognized me. We'll be covering them in the next game. Some kid recognize me at the White Bear Lake Elk River game last Friday.
That's nice. We need them to hop on board, get their parents and their family members who are business owners to go ahead and support your Patreon page and sponsor some games and get us out to see their kids play. It would be awesome.
Well, the links are in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. As the Stars lead by 18, looking to extend it. No look dish. Oh, and Isabel Henry almost had it. That would have been a great dime. A great follow-up for
that could have been one of the
Rachel
highlights.
Kowicki. Well, she already has one.
Yeah.
I think I found my play of the year. Isabel Henry, bullseye. Well, why settle for twos when you can make threes?
And Cretin
Foul from behind.
Cretin will get in and they'll chip away at that lead. And then Holy Angels will go on a run.
And I think you're seeing the difference here in terms of overall depth. Holy Angels, they've got a little more of it. They have more experience together as well.
Right.
Kowicki, the Henry twins, Frankie Vascellaro, Cassandra Karen, all had significant playing time last year. Cretin-Derham Hall rebuilding after Franny Hottinger graduated. Vascellaro to Henry. Heat check, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can't make them
Holy
all.
Angels, they're getting down the floor really well.
And on cue, Frankie with the strip. Can she squeeze through the hole? She will. She had 22 against Burnsville. She has her second 20-point game of the season right here. Kowicki with the block. But Cretin-Derham Hall had a trailer in Olivia Allen. And we're going to see this out of Holy Angels. Well, the future is bright
Oh, yeah.
in Richfield.
So have 8 minutes left, and they've already put up 69 points.
Kowicki missing the layup there, but Holy Angels with a comfortable lead.
And I see that Holy Angels are going to go to that high pick and roll. Or, yeah.
Cassie Karen with the steal in the run out. And you see their defense. They start up front. They don't let Cretin-Derham Hall get set up in the half court.
Right.
They meet you right at the top. And Cretin-Derham Hall just overwhelmed right now. Well, they get bailed out by the foul. It seems to be the one break going their way. Last foul to give for the Stars, but they're up big here.
And hopefully they'll be able to get to the free throw line now, convert. You know, when you have those opportunities to go to the line, it's a little breather, especially when you have a shorter, bench, and free points.
Martinez Stewart out to Cullen. 3 is short. Gets her own miss.
Nice.
That's another
Cretin's
one.
doing an excellent job on the boards. They have been all night.
That's the last foul to give for the Raiders. Holy Angels, right now they're the stronger team. I imagine if these two were to meet later in the season, maybe a different story.
Right.
But this just illustrates how much we may have underestimated Holy Angels a year ago.
Right, and especially for me, I thought coming into this game they were going to be a little more evenly matched. But even with the lead, Cretin is still competing.
Well, with Crystal Flint's the head coach, you're not going to get a break like that. You can't take a play off. Crystal will spot it in a hurry.
Wow, she's all over the place, this
Cassie
kid.
Karen, that's going to be an offensive foul. Martinez Stewart was set up outside the semicircle. That gray semicircle, as you know, the restricted zone in its second year of operation. As a rule in high school league basketball.
That was great. I hope we get a replay on that. That was great.
Well, and for both teams, you don't have to worry about facing Holy Angels at state. So for Cretin-Derham Hall, they can play a little more loosely. They try to push, and instead it's another steal for Frankie Vascellaro. She is piling up
She wants it back.
the numbers. Wants another deuce. Can't get it there. She had 3 steals, Frankie did, in the game with Burnsville. And the way she's playing, I think Frankie's determined to lead the team in every category.
And she still has another year. It's all around great kid.
Ooh, nice recovery by Rebecca Little. Wasn't quite ready for the shovel pass from Vascellaro, but she recovered in time for the score. And going back to Vascellaro, Tyler Coley watches her play on UVA in the summer, and Tyler, he always has something nice to say about every one of his players, but Frankie Vascellaro really made an impression with them.
Oh yeah, I mean when I had an opportunity to coach tandem to Tyler this year, so he had the 15 or 16U, I'm not sure where they played, and I had the 17U. So my team would scrimmage them a lot. She's, when you're a coach and you're playing against them, that's the kid you need to stop. That's the kid you need to stop if you want to win.
And more often than not, that's proven difficult for teams to accomplish. And we've seen glimpses of the future as well, including Grace Massaquoi, the sophomore. Nobody fooled this year. Holy Angels ranked 6th, I believe, in the 3A preseason poll. As you know, rankings pretty much go out the window. No one really pays attention to it. Again, they're in a favorable section this year, going to Section 6. They used to be in Section 3. Como Park moving to Section 3. They could have a tight battle with Simley for that state tournament slot. Cretin-Derham Hall turns it over. Don't sleep on this Holy Angels team. They're going to play some tough competition.
And they're gonna play. This is a team that they show up for every game.
And I don't think they've called a timeout in this one.
You know, it's something that's the beauty of having dual sport athletes, high endurance.
Dual and tri-sport athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget. Cassie Karen, one of those 3 sporters. Bullseye. Cherish Henderson showing her corner pocket shooting. Oh, that's fun to see when one of your bench players makes a big play like that. And this game, a testament to the depth of Holy Angels. They are going to be a lot of fun to watch as the season moves along.
And I'd like to see Holy Angels just dig in and go ahead and finish strong. Or I'm sorry, Cretin.
I was going to say Holy Angels, I think they've got that part down. They played strong throughout. Henderson, I thought she was going to try one for the right side.
And for Holy Angels, I think now is the time for them to start running through their sets and figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
Cassie Karen carried there, but she has 18 points.
They're lucky they caught her because it looks like she was about to do a move.
And I'll say this, Frankie, we know the focal point of this team, but Cassie Karen showed some signs last year. And I'd say this game
she came
highlights.
She came out shooting right away.
And
just picked a couple pockets.
This game highlights the potential she could bring for Holy Angels.
So cute. She thought she had a foul being called on her when the ref blew the whistle, even though it was a turnover for Cretin, and she did the cross.
Holy Angels is a private Catholic school. Frankie Vascellaro on the run out. Tyler Mader was not going to let her get it. Tyler's like, you're going to have to work a little harder. You're not scoring on me. And then Frankie throws it away. Both these schools actually are both private Catholic schools. As you know, this Twin Cities tip-off started as a Catholic school invite, but now we have some public schools in the mix. We'll see 2 of them in the next game, Anoka, Grand Rapids.
Always going to call it, It's great athleticism, though, by Grace. I think that's her name.
Tyler, And how about Tyler Mader? Back-to-back clutch plays on defense, stopping Frankie from a layup and picking up the charge there.
Oh, yeah. She said not today.
Cretin-Derham Hall expected to be a mid-pack team in the Suburban East. There's Emma Ostrom, no good. And Anna Caruso, 11 off the bench for her.
Yeah, Caruso showed up tonight, too.
It's early, though, for Cretin-Derham Hall. We know they can win games. We saw that when they beat St. Louis Park. Frankie, looks like she'll have to wait until tomorrow to cross 1,000. Long 2. Ran right past her own rebound there.
That rarely happens.
But you can't deny Frankie forever. She'll find a way to score, as she does there, draining the mid-range jumper. 22 points, so she's 16 away from 1,000. 14-footer does not drop. And as much as Frank, her father, wanted to see her get 1,000 today, to see Cassie Karen have a terrific performance. You've got the Henry twins, Isabel with 10, Emma with 8.
Nice spread.
This Holy Angels team, I think, is deeper than folks might give them credit for when you look at the potential powerhouse that is De La Salle.
Yeah. And like you said, they have experience. They've played together. Their core, they've played together for some time now. And their core, they know basketball. They support each other. I mean, you can see Rachel up off the bench right now cheering for her team. So
that was Kylie Zent scoring. And, Holy Angels, they support one another. Free throws coming for Tootie Lewis. De La Salle, we figured to be the favorites, even without Nora Francois.
That's another star-studded team and coaching staff.
Well, look who they added. And look who's coming back.
They are loaded. I just want all of them to stay healthy. I enjoy watching them. Yeah.
That's the difference between last year and this year. Last year, half their team was hurt, and folks were not high on their prospects. As the season went along, they got better. Their players came back, and they beat Becker to win the state championship. The first for Tanisha Scott. There's another figure who is so instrumental. I can't wait to see them tonight when they play Dowling and Caitlin Clark. Grace Massaquoi looking for an encore, won't get it. Frankie to the bench now. Her day is done.
The confidence in Miss Grace out there.
Yeah, if you ask me who would win state, I'd say De La Salle would be the favorite. Becker, they could find themselves back in the championship round. They bring back just about everybody.
Right, and they will for a few more years, couple more years.
And they're not afraid to take risks. They said, yeah, we'll play Hopkins at the Tip-Off Classic. Hopkins won convincingly, but Becker sees it as, hey, it's a chance to say we played Paige Beckers and a chance to get a glimpse of how we can improve. Tootie Lewis.
And I also think, too, Miss Tootie will find her spot and her role here as the season progresses.
There's a steal.
There she is again. She's going to go to the free throw line again.
And that's what you like to see, even though Cretin-Derham Hall won't win this game. Just keep playing, keep pushing. It's early in the season, so November games are very much learning about who you are and what you've got.
Right.
And we knew Cretin-Derham Hall, a team in transition. You had a group that had Franny Hottinger, and what a terrific role model she was as an athlete and as a character.
Right. Is that Anoka walking in?
That is Anoka.
They look huge. Look how deep they are.
Well, they're looking to bounce back. They had just 4 wins a year ago, new coach. But no, Anoka can tell you this story.
And it looks
they were the 2-win team that went to state back in 2011.
Oh, my. And it looks like their coaching staff all coordinated today. Little Black Friday shopping there.
Tootie Lewis made both at the line. That pushes her total to 9.
Nice.
And Crystal Flynn had a lot of nice things to say about her in the preseason scrimmages.
Oh, she's only a freshman, Mike. Oh, wow. That's a treat.
Crystal said, we're going to be young, but we're going to be speedy, fast, aggressive. And
that is a treat.
They may not win a lot of games this year compared to the last 2, but
won't be long. It won't be long.
And as you know, with Crystal, again, one of the most respected figures, state tournament official, one of my favorite games. I didn't rate officials that way, but one of my favorites was seeing her officiate the triple overtime Park Center Marshall State Championship. One of her teammates was calling the game, Leah B. Olson. Another one was coaching, and Dana Gilbert Hayes.
Nice. Speaking of Park Center.
They beat EP.
Yeah.
They beat Stillwater. Park Center.
Those
Look
young
out
ladies.
for the Pirates.
Yeah. Great job, Miss McKenzie. And
right, the 1-2 punch of McKenzie and Tanae Griffin. Lauren Frost had a big game against Stillwater. Baseline. Jay drops. No, that was a 3. That was Anna Caruso. It's hard to tell with the dual 3-point lines.
Yeah.
But Anna Caruso, 14 off the bench. And even though Cretin-Derham Hall won't get the win, as we said, they have a lot of positives to take away from this game. Caruso leading off the bench.
Yeah, and Caruso played her game today. She took every opportunity. She hustled. She rebounded. She posted up bigs in the paint. She shot the three. She did her job today.
And Moeschter worked her way to 10 off the bench.
Yeah.
And I imagine as she gets back to 100%.
Oh yeah, she's going to be a
seeing more of
force
her.
to be reckoned with when you have to hold her. Yeah.
So, do you even want to take a stab at who's going to win the 3A title this year?
No, I don't. I just want to see them all play. Wait till we get closer to the sections.
Well, my money's on De La Salle, but as we said earlier, it's a wide open field after the Islanders. Any one of these teams could make a run at them.
Yeah, and I know too many.
Three ball goes in.
I know too many girls and families on the other teams. I don't want anyone upset with me.
Well,
for
most of
making
them
a
know that
prediction.
when I make predictions, it's not indicative of what I think of them as athletes.
Yeah.
It's just I'm making the same guess as you are. If I'm right, great. If I'm wrong, well, then you have another
they
joke
always
you can
take it
lob at me.
personal from me. So
Well, I love watching good basketball, and 3A's got a lot of it. Holy
Yes.
Angels, De La Salle, Becker. I know they want to see me at a game. So many teams, only one me, and I'm glad we got to
yes.
see this Holy Angels team. They are going to be one of the forces in 3A to contend with. Time winds down. A fine performance.
She hits it. Come on, hit it, hit it, hit it.
Well, you wanted that.
Yeah.
Everyone was hoping it would go in. Cretin-Derham Hall, a valiant effort, but it's Holy Angels who wins the day, 87-62 the final. 22 from Frankie Vascellaro, Cassandra Karen with 18. And lost in all of this, Holy Angels getting 87 points without overtime.
Without overtime, absolutely. That's a good sign for their coaching staff. Got to see how the new kids mesh and gel. Like they look good today. They look really good.
I'll tell you, don't sleep on Holy Angels when it comes time for postseason play in Class 3A.
And I think they know that too. I think they know it. They can feel it.
Well, they got on a big start here. TK and Frankie having a quick word with each other, being AAU teammates. Big family basketball is, but Holy Angels has a lot to be proud of. They're off to a terrific start this season. They're 2-0. Cretin-Derham Hall goes to 1-1. A big performance. 3 double-digit scores for the Stars. Cretin-Derham Hall led by Anna Caruso with 17. Neveah Moeschter with 10. So we've got another game to get ready for, and we'll bring that to you shortly if you're watching this on YouTube. Well, thanks for stopping by, LaToya, as always.
Absolutely.
I know you and I have got Hopkins-Farmington coming up. I'm salivating just thinking about that matchup,
yeah.
but this was a fun game to watch, too.
Absolutely.
So we'll come back in a few minutes. You're watching the Twin Cities Thanksgiving Tip-Off. And joining me are a couple of MCU fans, Cassie Karen and Frankie Vascellaro. Cassie, I understand you're a Captain America fan.
I am, yeah.
And Frankie, who do you cheer for?
Spider-Man, of course.
Spider-Man. Okay, well, you and Demaya are going to get along real quick. Well, Frankie, you'll have to wait for 1,000 points a little bit longer, but 22, you're looking just like you did a year ago and leading that fast-paced Holy Angels team. What would you make of your performance against the Raiders?
I definitely don't think it was, like, we can do so much better, and we just need to learn how to work together more as a team. But I think individually, for everyone, the talent's there, and we know, like, what our roles are and stuff, and I'm really excited for the rest of the year.
You sound like a veteran.
I mean, I guess I am in some sense, but, I mean, Cassie would say the same thing, I know.
And Cassie, 3-sport athlete, coming off a strong volleyball finish, softball, of course, doing well. But today, 20 points for you, I believe, and close to it. Well, yeah, I'm going to say, I mean, we knew that Holy Angels was bringing back a lot, but I'd say your performance illustrated the potential you could bring to this team. So What do you make of the overall speed that allows this team to run the floor the way they do?
It honestly makes me excited. I mean, because you know that someone's already up there, and then if you're bringing the ball up and the diversity on the team, everybody can bring the ball up, and so you know that someone will be up the floor so that you can throw to them. Yeah.
87 points today, and you said the best is yet to come. How do you think the chemistry from last year to this year, bringing back just about everybody, how is that helping the team get back into the flow of things?
I think that if we didn't have so many returning players, then we definitely wouldn't work as well together. And it's like, you know, for all the captains, like we've been playing each other. This is our 4th year playing together. And then Cassie, this is your 2nd year. And it's like we all know each other well, and we know what someone's strengths and someone's weaknesses are. And I think that it's what helps us be such a good team.
I think it also helps just because we know where each other is going to be and where they want the ball. And so, like, I know Frankie wants it high when she's got a short person, because then she can shoot over them and score those 22 points.
And yeah, like when you're saying about Cassie, 20 points today, like last year you were good, this year you're even better. And it's like that's everyone on the team. No one is getting worse. Everyone just keeps getting better and better. And as a team, we'll progress more too.
Indeed, we saw Grace Massaquoi make some plays off the bench. So, Frankie, I understand when you're not hooping it up, you like to play guitar and piano.
How do you know that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, I love playing guitar and piano.
Do you have any favorite tunes you like to play?
I like to play, for guitar, probably like the Eagles or Chris Isaac, and then for piano, Billie Eilish probably, or like Lorde, any of her music, yeah.
Can you teach me?
Yeah, if you want, yeah, I can.
All right, so coming soon on Frankie's YouTube channel or whatever.
Yes.
Piano and guitar lessons. Yes. Well, Frankie, you've got quite the mix. You've got a little old school and current. I did not know you were an Eagles fan.
Oh yeah, I love them. It's my dad. Like that's all I listen to.
Osmosis.
Yeah.
Same with me. Like I have a lot of 70s, 80s tunes thanks to my parents.
It's so much. It's better than like most music today. I'll say it.
You know what? I will agree with you on that. Although, you know, there are some good modern tunes out there. You said Billie Eilish. We don't want to knock her down. She was on SNL recently.
Yeah.
You know, she watches this tape, and we don't want her coming after you, right?
I don't want to offend her like that.
You want to say hi to anybody?
Hi, Joe. Good luck at the state tournament tomorrow. And I guess hi, Sam.
Well, you got to go with the typical, hi, Mom.
Well, thanks for stopping by. And Frankie, to explain how I knew this about you, I ordered a breakdown book this year, and it has all the bio notes. So I did my homework. You know, I'm a journalist. Journalists got to do some research once in a while. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. And we'll have more from the Twin Cities Thanksgiving tip-off in a moment.